The Consortium of Health and Military Performance, also known as CHAMP, of the Uniformed Services University of Health and Science, known as USUHS, is conducting a study to understand a possible genetic link between sickle cell trait, known as SCT, and exercise-related events, known as EREs, such as exertional rhabdomyolysis, muscle damage, heat stroke, and or collapse. We are inviting African-American men and women with sickle cell trait and their family members to participate. Participating in the study will require you to complete a health history questionnaire, a form authorizing our study physician to gather health information from you and your healthcare provider, as well as a one-time blood donation. In order to qualify for the study, you must meet the following criteria: be African American, be sickle cell trait positive, be able to read, speak, and understand English, be between the ages of 18 and 80, and currently not being treated for any mental or psychological disorders. Participation is completely voluntary, and your decision will not impact your healthcare. The results for this study are for research purposes only and are not intended to directly benefit any individual for confidentiality reasons. However, the results of this study are intended to help better shape policies and associated health risks affecting the SCT community. Participants may be compensated for their time. To join the study, or if you would like additional information regarding the study, please contact the study team by phone, area code 240-479-9514, or email sctstudy-ggg@usuhs.edu.
The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
And welcome to the first episode of Toomer'S. I'm your host, Al Toomer, and this is the first show, so give myself a big round of applause. I finally got to do something. Today, I have a treat for you. I have a legendary actor in the house tonight, and we're going to sit down and chop it up for 60 minutes, and hope you enjoy what we're talking about. My guest today is Mr. Stephen Williams, currently appearing on the Showtime series The Chi. And, man, tell me something about that character, man, because you seem like you having fun playing him, Steve.
Hugh is absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
For those people who have not seen The Chi, Quentin Dickinson is my character.
Right.
I'm going to be messing with Al throughout this show, too, this being his first show and all. He better be good, too. He better be good. Now, Quentin is first of all, it's a Showtime show, created by Lena Waite and executive produced by her and Common and a few other people. It's got a terrific cast, a cast of young people. Yes. We've got a demographic that's awesome. I mean, it goes from, 10, 11, 12-year-olds to, to folks my age and older.
So we've got
a wide range of viewers, and it's Lena likes to call it a coming of age story. Yeah. It's putting a face on some of this violence and stuff that's happening in Chicago. It's like telling you how these kids became drug addicts or doctors or lawyers or pimps or killers or da-da-da-da-da, what they go through every day. Yeah. It's Chicago life, man. It truly is Chicago life. And Quentin is a retired street boss. He's a guy that used to run it. One of the catchphrases. I'm hoping it's going to be a catchphrase. Quentin says to one of the boys, he said, "What do you do?" The boy says, "Well, you hustle a lot, don't you?" He said, "No, man, I run shit."
Tell it convincingly.
Yeah. But he comes back to town. For those of you who haven't seen it, I won't spoil it for you. Quentin comes back to town, and then all hell breaks loose. He's back there for a purpose. Right. And he's. I like the character. Me and one of our executive producers and director, David Rodriguez. I absolutely love this man as a director and as a buddy now, but he's responsible for us creating, for the Quentin that we created. Yes. I give David as much credit as a director and producer as I do myself as an actor. We created this charming. This charming killer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. That's got to be a fun-ass role to play here. Old-ass man and he killing kids.
Every time I read a script where he did something horrible, I went, damn, Quentin ain't nothing nice, is he? It's a lot of fun.
But you're from Chicago, right?
I'm from Chicago. Yeah. Chicago is. I like to call Chicago home. Mm-hmm. My birthplace is Memphis.
Okay.
Memphis, Tennessee. But I grew up in Chicago from the time I was 10, 11 years old on. Yeah. I like to call it home.
Well,
cool place,
when we look at it, like the violence that's going over there, like now, what was it like when you was growing up?
When I was growing up, it was nowhere near. You've heard baby boomers say it before. We used our hands. Yeah. You got in a fight. You fought. I mean, the most lethal thing we had was probably a knife. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
If that. And most kids didn't know how to use them no damn way. But now it's just, it's ugly, man. With guns in the schools and kids coming into schools, gunning down whole classrooms.
What's going on? I mean,
I don't know, something they putting in the water?
That's what I was about to ask you.
No,
I just looked it up today.
Actually, there is
seven niggas got killed over the weekend just this week.
There is a study I read about or saw, some media stuff about lead in the water. Yeah, and lead does cause a brain kind of malfunction, and it attacks the section of the brain that governs violence. Yeah, so when people say there's something in the water, there may be something in the water. You know what I'm saying? And plus, we get what the examples that I think young people have today are horrible examples. Media teaches a society how to behave. Yeah. And the stuff that we see on the media every day and kids see, the games are extremely violent. Right.
Like Grand Theft Auto and all this shit
that they call reality. Yeah. Everybody's behaving badly. I mean, we live in a culture, I like to say this, we live in a culture where there's a show on, for instance, that grown-ups insult each other for entertainment. You know what that show is. You folks probably know what that show is. Yeah. But grown-ups are insulting each other as entertainment. Right. And a bunch of other grown-ups are sitting around watching this shit. Right. And laughing. That's... Yeah. As a sensible person, I get it. Yeah. But I think that it does leave an impression on a lot of young people. Mm. They think that's the way to behave in society. Yeah. That it's okay to insult your fellow man. Exactly. To be rude to your fellow man. To be, they think that that's normal. That's cool. Right. Based on, the media stuff that we get. Mm-hmm. There's so much stuff we get through the media. It's just bad behavior, man. It goes back. This is a funny country. There was a show on the air. I was part of the beginning of a network where a show on the air where the wife was a lazy slot that didn't cook. Husband had a piss poor job. The daughter was a whore. You know what that show was. And it became one of the most popular shows on the planet. Yeah. Great entertainment. But again, what kind of example
are we putting out
there for, society to emulate? Like that.
Mm-hmm. I know you, because going back to stay with Chicago for a minute, because like I said, I understand how it happened. Barack is right there. Farrakhan is right there. Kanye West. And he's from Chicago.
Kanye.
How do you feel about them statements that he made about slavery was a choice?
About who? I have no idea. First of all, you have to understand, I live in the 18th century. Yeah. I very rarely watch anything other than old TV. I have no interest. I have no interest in most other shit that's going on the planet if it doesn't concern me. Right. So I have not heard what Kanye said. Yeah. I'm not a fan. I'm not I don't do TMZ and media and da-da-da-da-da. And I just don't care. If it ain't got nothing to do with me or a paycheck, I don't care.
Yeah, that type of bullshit. I feel you, right?
I got enough problems of my own.
Exactly.
I got enough life to live of my own. Yeah. Living vicariously, concerned with somebody else's existence, who has nothing to do with me and does not contribute anything to my existence, to my health, my comfort. Right. So, nothing. I don't know, but what did he say?
What pissed black people off is he said slavery was a choice. It sounds like a choice. Because he's like, it's 400 years and all y'all over there, 400 years, that sounds like a choice.
He was making some sort of metaphorical
Yeah.
Whatever the word I was trying to use.
Yeah. Mental slavery is what he had to be saying about. Because it wasn't, you couldn't be talking about nobody voluntarily got on the fucking boats and got on this shit. No, man. And nothing like that at all.
Yeah, well, there is a, having not heard what he said,
that's pretty much all it is.
I get a little bit, maybe of, based on what you just said of what he's talking about. I mean, but it's not so much choice as we are the only group that came here involuntarily.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And with that trip came the separation. Our separation has been really complete almost. They did it they took our language, our culture, our religion, separated families.
Yeah.
There was nothing to every other ethnic group that comes here voluntarily, number one. And number two, they try to keep their families together, their cultures together, their da-da-da together.
Right.
We've been separated so completely.
Right.
That it's one of the things that's
ripped
a problem.
us apart. It really did. It really did. And man, you Bush, it seems like you've been around forever. And I'd like to know some of the secrets that how do you just the longevity?
Drugs and alcohol.
Drugs and alcohol.
Preservatives, man. Pow. I've just been blessed.
Yeah.
I'm blessed, Al. It's been a long road. It's being a long and wonderful road.
Right.
I like to say that I have not worked a day in my life since I started this business. I don't find this to be work. It's an absolute joy.
Right.
The work that's involved here is actually getting the job.
Yeah.
Once you've gotten the job, it's the creative process is just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Just a lot of fun to work with some really, really creative people over the years.
Yeah. Because you work with
people and I've been blessed. Like I said, I've been blessed to be able to work. God dropped this talent in my lap, and then he started dropping opportunities in my lap.
Right. Because and
I go out and do it.
Yeah. 21 Jump Street with Johnny Depp and Bernie Mac. He was his father-in-law and all that. And I ain't going to ask you because I'm not going to make the mistake of doing what some of the motherfuckers. What's it like working with Johnny Depp? Well, you need to ask Johnny Depp what the fuck it's like working with Stephen Williams.
What is it like working with Stephen Williams? Yeah, I go back. Starting with, I guess it started with Blues Brothers. And Cooley High, and then the TV series start, and God rest his soul. My favorite guy, one of my favorite guys that was on the planet, Stephen J. Cannell.
Yeah,
I worked for him for a long time, just about all of his shows, with A-Team and just about all of his shows in the early days.
Right.
5 years on Jump Street. You
like the black Bill Bixby, the black Robert Urich. Always got some shit.
Always, I've had 8. I think I've had 8 series in which I've been a series regular, or the title character. There's a title character in 2 of them, Lynx.
Right.
It was created by Tim Reed, Susan Fell's Heels, and a short-lived show called Blackjack Savage, The 100 Lives of Blackjack Savage. I was a title character.
Yeah.
And then the recurring stuff. The X-Files is Mr. X.
Yeah.
Rufus and Supernatural, and and L.A. Heat. I was,
Oh yeah, I remember
we did
that
L.A.
one too.
Heat. Me and Wolf Larson. We had a lot of fun. We were the stars of that show.
Yeah. But man, being like the seasoned veteran that you are, and being into this as long as you, because I've never really heard anything like, you in Hollywood, there's always some type of scandal and shit going on, but I've never heard nothing on your reputation at all. When you hear shit like this shit, what was going on with Bill Cosby, how have you avoided that shit, man, for like 50 years and no scandal at all?
By not doing stupid shit. It's really easy to avoid. Just don't do stupid shit, okay? I don't get it my damn self, some of these people, to not only doing it, but getting caught.
Right.
I mean, let's face it, man. Like I said, I'm a baby boomer, so I've been there, done that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I keep it all at home.
Exactly.
I keep it at home when I see these people getting caught out by, these cameras and the paparazzi, and caught out doing stuff, or out drunk, or out, getting out of cars and showing coochies, and it's insane. You know what I'm saying? Stay home. Stay the hell home if you're going to do certain things.
Yeah.
Stay the hell home and do them.
Yeah. Now, Carlos, I'm sure as long as you've been in this business, I'm sure you done kicked it out around. You've been around him. I mean, It's hard for me to say about whether he did what he did or not. I do know that stuff was, pretty much legal. There was shit called Spanish Fly and all this type of shit. Back in the 60s, 70s, people did shit like that.
Oh, yeah, we come from an era that, here's my take on some of it without bad-mouthing anybody or creating any enemies. During that era, a lot of that behavior was widely accepted. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's coming forward now with sexual harassment. Now was sexually harassed. I was da-da-da-da-da. But a lot of that behavior was widely accepted by the women during that era. This is the era of free love. Right. You know what I'm saying? This is the hippies and da-da-da-da, Woodstock and da-da-da-da. Right. And that so-called drug, Quaaludes. Quaaludes was fashionable back then. And I will guarantee you that at least 50% of those women did that shit voluntarily. Bill ain't slipped them nothing. They did it voluntarily. Let's party, baby. Okay, bam. You drop a Quaalude. Now you wake up tomorrow morning with a sore butt, ass, and vagina, and you don't really remember what happened. Okay? And you got that memory blank. All these years they've had that block of memory that, and C.G. Cosby was married. They knew he was married. So it was wrong in the first place. Okay? You're dealing with a married man. You haven't functioned man. So you're not blameless. Right. You're not blameless. And my take on it, they went into the relationship to get something out of it. A role or a part of it. But you woke up the next morning, so didn't get what you went for. Right. And you don't remember what you did. Exactly. But one of them remembered. One of them remembered. He gave her $3.8 million. Right. And where's my fucking money? Everybody else jumped on the bandwagon. They all started to remember after that. Oh, yeah. So, that's, they're not blameless. Right. Let's just say that a great deal of them are not blameless. Yeah, I can believe that. I just hate the way they did him, though. But they could at least put these bitches' pictures up back when he was fucking them. Not no 80-year-old granny. He raped them. I mean, it's just these are some of the ugliest white bitches I've seen in my life. Ugly white bitches. They ain't gonna do him like that, man. Just break him down. I'm not making no comment on Bill's taste. Well, maybe that's a pact he had with Camille. I don't know. I mean, I don't mind you doing it, nigga. Make sure the bitches don't remember it. It is really, really strange, though. I find it amusing that a great deal of the guys who've been caught up in stuff like Tiger and have some incredibly beautiful queens at home. But sometimes you can't get your queen to do that freaky deaky shit that we like to do. So why would you? I don't see myself marrying one that ain't gonna do that. Now you ain't gonna do it. We can't get married. Here's my list, baby. We can't. Now, if you cannot handle some of this, Steve, let me know. I've been engaged 32 times. You've been married. How many times you been married? Once? Once. I don't know why anybody would do that more than once. Because it just kills people. Look, and I was married to a fabulous woman too, by the way. She's wonderful. I know. You don't mention her name now, but I know she's a big time actress in the business. She was. She's a good human being. Good human being. We're still friends to this day. We're still buddies, Yeah, but the Constitution, because I've heard that you could get. Man, you don't have the marriage license. I've told it was told that it was like a marriage license, man, is really for people to get in for the law to get in your pocket. You can draw up a contract with a person to get married with. The law has nothing to do with anything but a marriage. I never quite understood the institution of marriage the way it's laid out. I mean, why get the state involved in your relationship? And even if you're going to have children, I've always said one of my philosophies has been if you're going to have children, then get married, have children, give the name, be a family. But I think two people can share love, they can share homes, they can share a whole bunch of stuff without the state getting involved in the relationship. Now, having said that, let me also say that there is a definite upside for women. Men are dogs. Men are sick. Men are dogs, and women need to be protected. They do need to be protected. Now, what would happen if a woman dedicates 20 years, 30 years of her life to a situation and raises kids and da-da-da-da-da, and all of a sudden the dude wants to step out and leave her high and dry. Many men think like that. They really don't think fairly. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They don't think fairly. Mm-hmm. By the same token, there's a part of that institution says you don't deserve half of my shit.
No.
Just because. Da-da-da-da-da. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Men get raped in the process, too.
Yeah.
So it's...
just bludgeon.
But like I said, I don't think I'll ever have to worry about it again. I did my...
That's what I don't like about the whole institution, man. If I got to go in front of a minister to get into this shit, but I got to go in front of a judge to get out.
And get out of it, right?
Hell no. I'm going to go right back to that same lying-ass judge. Yeah. I mean, the minister.
Hey.
You ain't got no business asking nobody who thinks they should not be married. You a man of God, motherfucker. You ought to be breaking this up right now. If it don't work, I'm coming back to fuck you up.
Yeah.
But the minister never gets any type of criticism about what he does at all. He's going on. But marriage, man, no, I make it hard. Like I said, I've been engaged 32 times, and there's a 3-year grace period.
So you're a serial engager, huh?
Well, I know a lot of thieves.
So how did you get married out of any of those 33?
No, because they always fucked up during the grace period. You got like 3 years. If this shit ain't working in 3 years.
So 30-something, and you think it was all them. It's...
No, they fucked up.
None of this is on you.
They fucked up. All of them got a ring.
I'm not taking sides.
They still got the ring.
Sides, all right?
This shit ain't
just
paying.
asking.
It ain't paying it out after 3 years. Why would I go make this legally binding?
Yeah, there's certain things that you just shouldn't do.
Now, I'll marry Oprah tomorrow, and I know if we get a divorce that I got her ass up against the goddamn wall. Oprah don't want my $13.
Yeah,
I can get something more.
There's just some things you should always protect. You know, it's like direct deposit and direct payments, you know. And
yeah.
I never understood that concept. Why would I give anybody permission to go into my bank account?
Right.
On a monthly basis. I do not get that concept at all. No, I'm not doing automatic nothing.
No, hell no.
So if you feel that way about marriage, okay.
I do, man, because I've never been able, I'm fucked off 2 of them. Those were the other 30 of them, middle of the road. There were 2 that was actually pretty well off now, and I wish I had a goddamn married them bitches. I actually had one of them I talked into having a goddamn abortion. This bitch is on TV every day, so I feel like a damn fool.
What makes you think they would have taken care of you, though, Al? I mean,
they was doing it then, Steve, and I had nothing.
What you got, Al? What you got going, man?
Nothing but me. A lot of potential. As we're here with Stephen Williams tonight, legendary Steve Williams. I'm trying to goddamn record what the fuck I'm doing, and I need to cuss this. Somebody go let him. Hold on. Yeah, man. You interrupting the fucking show, nigga. I told you I was going to be on at 5:30, so you're late. So if you're at that by the gate, I'll send somebody back there. Stop calling me, man. You're fucking up the show. Stand at the goddamn... If you at the gate, I'll send somebody back there, goddammit. They telling me to turn the machete off. Somebody go let him in. Turning nothing off because I'm recording my own shit. I know what I'm doing with my phone. Turn your shit off. Now, where was we, Mr. Williams?
I have no idea. You're running this. Run it, Al. Run it. Yeah.
Oh, well, we was somewhere where we was talking about right before marriage. And I wanted to ask you about this, man, because I really feel like, fuck black men being goddamn endangered species. I really feel like heterosexual men are endangered species. We're being came out by women with this Me Too shit and then the gay shit. I really believe, man, that heterosexual men is under siege.
Mm-hmm. I have no comment on that whatsoever. Once again, I don't know what to say about that, Al. I don't know what you're asking me. I've not taken a poll to see, who outnumbers who, heterosexual men or homosexual men.
Well, I guess, let me put it this way. When I see them coming at cars like they coming at him, and what's the other guy, the big-time white boy, who was that, Weinberger, and then they got Russell Simmons.
Harvey.
Yeah, all these guys, they coming at big-time rich motherfuckers, man. So what is this motherfucker with $17.13 in his pocket? I don't stand a chance.
Well, no, who's going to come at you for, like I said, why wouldn't you come at them? If you're going to come at anybody, why not them? Like you said, why would I come at you? You ain't got no money.
But I'm just saying, if they could do a wealthy motherfucker like that, man, broke man, ain't got a chance.
They ain't. They ain't.
And you've never had, I mean, because
no, like, again, I don't do stupid shit. Not stupid shit that, people can see.
Yeah.
Like I said,
I done been to some wild parties.
Down to a minimum?
Yeah, wild parties at your house, but it was always at your house.
It was always at my house. That's right. That's at my house.
A lovely house at that.
And as a heterosexual man, I don't feel threatened at all by anything except, not being able to nail 22-year-olds bothering me a little bit, but other than that, I'm good.
Boy, you still got enough strength to be fucking around with 22-year-olds. That's why you tired and whatnot.
Once a month, baby, 22-year-old.
Oh, so what? I mean, you got the acting and all this type of shit locked down and everything, man. But you do what do you ever see yourself directing or doing anything?
No.
You'd be a hell of a director, Steve.
No, I like acting. I directed the final episode of 21 Jump Street.
You did?
So I have had my directing experience.
Yeah.
I may do it again at some point. Mm-hmm. What I learned during that process was how much I didn't know. Yeah. So it was a great learning experience.
Yeah.
And I kind of enjoyed it, but right now I just like acting. It's this. People always say, you should do this, Stephen, you should do that. I should do exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah, what you want to do.
I do not want to take on a heavy load. I'm not that... I don't want to scatter myself all over the place. And I've got a lot of acting years, good Lord willing. Mm-hmm. A lot of acting years left.
Yeah.
This is one of those jobs, acting you can do until you drop. I met a guy on set once. He was an extra. I called him scene enhancement personnel. But one of his specialties was playing a dead body. When they needed a dead body instead of a dummy, that was one of his specialties. He was a group that played dead bodies. So I like to say you can do this job up until you
can. I think Kevin Costner started out doing that. He played a corpse.
Yeah, I mean, it's... So
how do you break it down? I mean, because at this point now, I guess when you do an audition, but if you get the role, there's really no director telling you what to do. You're like Sam. Sam is the same nigga in everything. Sam just switches his look, and he's a yelling nigga no matter what.
Turn the volume down. Let Sam start screaming.
Yeah, but he just switches his look and shit. But how do you prepare?
Well, if you're not playing every character is when I look at it is me. Right. Every character is me as that person. It's me reading that writer's words.
Right.
And if you're not playing an actual person, like if I played Jackie Robinson or somebody, now I got to do some specifics. You want to do specifics, and you want to get his mannerisms down. You want to try and do maybe some vocal stuff that's like them.
Okay.
You want to bring. But other than that, it's relating to the material. If I relate to the material, if I can see myself in that situation,
right,
whatever it be, and relate to that material, then I can give it something in front of that camera. Based on the writer's vision. It's a team effort also.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people forget. Most actors get the big accolades.
Yeah.
But it's a team effort. That writer's words, what did he have in mind when he wrote those words? Can you put those across? That director's vision, the pictures that are going to be around there, that producer's vision, what story?
Yeah.
You've all got to be telling the same story.
Okay.
You've got to be on the same page.
Right.
And the creative process comes when everybody gets together and tells that story.
Right.
From the lighting person to the camera person to the sound person to the makeup person, the hair person, the entire crew. It's one big collective team effort to put that thing all together. And then it goes to the editing room, and that's where a movie is really made.
Right.
You
can
take a bad performance and turn it into a decent performance in that editing room. You can take a great performance and mess it up in that editing room.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but for me, it's just a matter of relating to the words. I relate to the words, and then if I've got that fellow actor in front of me giving me
because I've heard it was like the most Art Evans.
We simply communicate.
Yeah, because Art Evans was
a wonderful actor.
He taught me for a while. He's like, your ear, man. That's as long as you hear right, then you can respond naturally.
Right. Yeah, hear it and just we like to say don't get caught acting.
Right.
We like to say that. Do not get caught acting. Just be.
Yeah.
Just be. Have honest communication.
Right.
You know? And I like to tell young people, if you have intent for me is a magical word. Because intent shows in your eyes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm scared of you. I intend to run. I intend to kick your ass. I intend to come over and tell you. It's in your eyes. And if the camera is right there,
yeah,
you know, that'll come across.
Exactly.
As long as you've got intent and honest communication.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, man, just, if I could just have a career, I'd like yours.
Oh, keep doing
it. And you kept your nose, just to keep your nose clean.
Yeah, like I said, don't just I'm slick. I'm slick. You know, it's like, keep it at home, man. Keep it undercover. Keep it at home. Surround yourself with trustworthy people. I see so many people who come into the money, and all of a sudden their good friends are gone. The cats you grew up with, the chicks you grew up, they're gone, and now you're surrounded by a bunch of, folks that you don't really know, and a bunch of folks that don't necessarily have your best interests at heart. They're just there to gather what they can gather from the situation.
Exactly.
So surround yourself with trustworthy people, and just be common sense.
Yeah.
Just common sense.
God, look, let y'all know, this man I've been friends with 10, 15 years. He ain't got no problem with giving me no advice when he think I need it. And he ain't got no problem with cussing my motherfucking ass out when he think I need it. He's always been that way.
Straight up. So I don't want to be anything but straight up.
I remember honest. I came by your house one day crying and lamenting. I don't know whether it was female problem or whatever. And I said something about the respect. I need to be respected. Hell, who the fuck told you needed to be respected? Who told you that? I don't need to be respected. I need to be left the fuck alone. If I had to choose between being respected and being left the fuck alone, I'm going to choose being left the fuck alone.
Yeah,
fuck respect.
I must have been going through something there.
I appreciated the advice.
Yeah. Listen, man, if you, and when you said something about your career, if you really have a passion. I think passion is a magical word also. Yeah. If you have passion for anything, you won't need a lot of advice.
Right.
Passion will drive you. If you want to be a doctor, lawyer, actor, you'll wake up one day and you'll be that.
Yeah.
If you've got the passion that has driven you there.
Exactly.
So just get up and keep doing.
Yeah, just keep moving.
Doing. Yeah, keep moving, man. Keep doing no matter what it is. Keep doing. I've got at my house now. I put in a little putting green. I put in a little track for skating and biking, and put in my pool and da. And luckily I've got a little upstairs over the garage. But it's all about keeping moving. I mean, I think Dr. Gunther or something, one of the TV doctors said, you don't really need to go to the gym every day.
Right.
Just get up and keep moving. Don't stop moving. So everything I've put at that little property is about movement of some sort.
I heard you say that about, one of the things I seen last night when I was going over some of your stuff, you were saying that, I am where I am today to get to where I need to get.
No, the saying is, you have to be where you are in order to get where you're going.
Yeah.
That's how I look at stuff. So even if you find yourself in jail, in a hospital, or in a bloody, wherever you are,
right.
I always like to say you have to be there right now in order to get where you're going. Simple as that. It's just a step along the way.
Right.
And some of those steps along your travels and along your journey will not be pleasant. You'll find yourself in mud holes and all kinds of slosh and stuff. And then all of a sudden you'll find yourself at the top of that mountain you're trying to get to. So,
exactly.
Embrace where you are. Embrace where you are. You don't have to like it, but embrace it so you can get the fuck up out of there.
Yeah.
If need be.
I go by that motto. A lot of people say all good things come to an end, but for the longest I've been saying I guess because I have more bad shit, all bad things come to an end too.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of sayings that I have altered a little bit for myself. For instance, I love the that which does not kill you
will make you strong.
No, bullshit. That which doesn't kill you, your silly ass will probably do again. That's my saying. I like it. My uncle had one too. My uncle had one. He used to say, you can fool some of the people all the time, all the people some of the time, but you can't fool all the people all the time.
Yeah.
Well, my uncle used to say, you can fool some of the people some of the time. Shit, that ought to be enough.
Yeah, boy,
I love him. Yeah, let's get to the real nitty-gritty of these sayings. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody wants to put a positive spin on
euphemisms and shit.
That was the real saying.
Yeah. So you mentioned you was from Memphis. Did you spend enough time there to realize how bad them motherfuckers was, and you got out of there as a baby?
Oh no, well it was not as bad in Memphis, because I heard Memphis was like Wild Wild West.
Yeah, ain't that where they
a few years ago, and even now it's like. But Memphis was not like that. I'm a baby boomer, man. I'm an old man. And I grew up right outside of Memphis. I was born in Memphis, but I grew up in a little town called Millington, Tennessee, right outside of Memphis. My grandfather and my grandmother raised me. He was a Baptist minister and worked at a naval base there and a sharecropper.
Yeah.
So as a kid, I spent a lot of time on the farm. You know, I think my nearest neighbor was probably 5 or 6 or 7 miles away. You know, so and I'm an only child. I was an only child at that time. So. You know, it was just me and my grandmother most of the time, because Big Daddy he was out in the field plowing, digging up something, farming.
Yeah, I know something about
and
that.
I would do that same kind of thing with Big Mama. You know, feed the chicken, slap the hole, you know, chop cotton, pick cotton, you know, the whole kit and caboodle. I was a farm kid, so I stayed out of trouble because of that.
Right.
Being a farm kid, I developed quite the imagination too, growing up on a farm, because I didn't see television until I was like 12 years old, probably.
What?
Before I saw a TV set. It was all radio.
Yeah.
It was all radio. So everything, all of my images were in my head. You would listen to the sounds, and you had to think up images in your head. So that helped me, I think, later on in life. That helped me to be a creative, you know, more of a creative person.
Yeah.
And again, it kept me out of trouble, and just that kind of life. You've heard about the Baptist ministers' kids.
Yeah,
it wasn't quite like that. My grandfather would say, "Stevie, you want to go to church with me this Sunday?" No, I don't think so, Big Dad. Okay, I'll see you when I get back. You know, it wasn't that forced thing.
Yeah.
But you learn through watching. You learn by example.
Right.
Dealing with folks like that. You know, the wholesomeness of it.
Yeah.
I think, you know, one of the longevity things you said about me is a good foundation, man. I ate organic foods. Because when I started coming to Chicago, I would go back to Tennessee every summer until I was 16 to visit my grandparents and my cousins and stuff down there. So that kept me out of trouble, too, in Chicago. Because I'm out of there during the summertime, which is when kids really get in trouble. When school is out during the summer, that's, you know, when a lot of shit happens.
Yeah.
But I was out of there every summer to go back down south. Also, just health-wise, man, I ate truly organic food for the first 16, 17 years of my life.
I know what you're talking about.
Everything was organic,
we
my
had
brother.
Gardens, man.
You know, no frozen meat killed right there in the yard.
Yeah.
Vegetables grown with animal, you know, manure for fertilizer, no chemicals in it. Truly organic. Eggs straight from under the chicken.
You have to learn.
Milk straight out of the cow. Didn't have to be pasteurized and shit.
I remember the first time my dad tried to teach me how to kill a chicken, man. And they back over there, he'd take him and ring
that neck, snap.
I can't do no shit like that. Like, nigga, you go hungry 4 or 5 days. Ain't nobody gonna kill him for you. But we did that over there.
The farm life was quite something.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have traded it for anything. You know?
Oh no. So when you this was back so you went to Chicago when, like the 40s, 50s?
40s, early 50s. Yeah, early 50s. I was starting to go to Chicago. Late 50s, early 50s. I was starting to go to Chicago.
So you got this all from the civil rights movement.
I've been
Malcolm X. You got to see all that firsthand.
I have been. I like to tell. Just for the hell of it, I like to tell people, young people, you exist because of me. But for me, you wouldn't be here. Now I've seen or been a part of, you know, a great deal of the major what we call revolutions, the civil rights movement, the women's movement, the workers' movement, the gay movement.
Right.
I was there during the inception of all of these things, Kennedy, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Gloria Steinem.
Yeah.
I was there. I was there. And part of it in one way or another. Won't mention all the ways part of it, but I was part of it, man. I've watched the world change. I've watched the world change drastically from our technology to the attitudes. The attitudes of the world have changed. Just mentally, people aren't.
Well, what you would do, because back then, because I did my history and I've read up on stuff, but they said, man, from the 20s to the 50s, we as a whole, we was doing better than we are today before we started integrating with everything. We had our own professional teams. It was the Negro League. We had more businesses. We had more everything, but it seemed like we just got shot to hell once we started this integration shit, the civil rights shit, which was supposed to be human rights, but it got changed to civil rights. Did you see any distinct difference in what King tried to do as opposed to what we were doing? Did we have because you were around my mom's age, y'all came around 20 and 30, so you seen when black people really had shit.
It's again, it's that togetherness thing. It's that togetherness. We were so separated. We don't seem to be able to come together as a I don't know. I don't know how I want to say this, but we don't support each other enough sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We don't get behind each other and really give each other the mental and financial and academic support that we should have. It's the world is going to hell. The world is going to hell at a handbasket. Generally, the world is going to hell in a handbasket. Black, white, and otherwise. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's I'm not real crazy about human beings.
I ain't either, man. I'm telling you, when I stopped doing
relative to the other species on the planet, we seem to be the most destructive.
Yeah.
And for the most fucked up reason. This is a cruel place. Don't get me wrong. This so-called big ball of water floating around in space, this living entity is a cruel thing. Yeah. Everything on this planet kills and eats something else in order to survive.
Yeah, it's savage.
So it's a vicious, savage place. But we have that choice of and everything else does it for food.
Right.
All the other animals have to kill for food or to fuck.
Yeah.
Okay? If you'll notice, most of the other animals have to fight to fuck.
Yeah.
And they only get to do it once a year. Some of them get to do it once a year. And then they got to fight somebody for it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
That's the line.
I had to do that for sex, man, I'd be, this hand would be real big. It would be real huge.
You know you going to win.
But we're supposed to have that choice, that reasoning. We're supposed to be able to not have to kill if we don't want to eat it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We're supposed to be better than the viciousness that the planet naturally is.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be able to overcome some of that violence that the planet naturally is, and we don't seem to be able to do it. I just don't know how some people are wired the way they're wired. You know what I'm saying? If you had told me that there was some dude, for instance, out having affairs with other dudes and then killing them and freezing them and putting them in the freeze. I mean,
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah, but we got people like that every damn day. That was not even unusual anymore. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know, man. This is weird.
I'm not real crazy about human beings.
I became a misanthropic dude for like 10, 15 years. That is a hater of the human race. I fuck black, all you motherfuckers. I can't stand y'all. Mad at my motherfucking parents for having me, goddammit. Why did I have to come through this bitch? But, it's Like I say, like you mentioned other animals, they don't do shit like that. Lions, man, for example, man, them motherfuckers, it's at least 5 or 6 of them motherfuckers going through a battle royal, and that bitch will lay right down there, and whoever wins, you might be beat up and bloody, whoever wins, you get the fuck.
Yeah, and you get to run the pack for the next.
And you better get on the pussy then, and the bitch will on somebody else, but you gonna have to fight 4 or 5 motherfuckers to get some. If you gotta fight a nigga 4 or 5 niggas before you fuck every night, we'd probably be we'd be more careful with bringing the way we bring kids in the world. See, it ain't the problem with the kids. It's like how people get together and have sex, man. You ain't supposed to just goddamn fucking conceive no child anywhere. You bitch fucked in the bathroom with a club in the back of your car. You have to bring kids in. You have to plan that shit. I just goddamn go in the bathroom and bend somebody over. And my kid was conceived there. I can't expect him to be nothing but a piece of shit because he was conceived in a shadow. Yeah. Oh, man. So once again here we're with the legendary Steve Williams. And Stephen Williams. Yes, the legendary Stephen Williams. Now
living rumor in my own mind.
Yeah. What made you decide to do this, to get into acting and everything? Did you ever have a real job or anything, and you just knew you always had?
No, it's a blessing. I finished high school and I worked a little bit after that. I got drafted. I was drafted into the Army. I did a 2-year stint in the Army. I got out of the Army. I went to the post office and worked there for a little while. That's a federal job. And again, this is an era. This is the 60s now. I'm in the 60s now, the late 60s. And that was a wonderful, wonderful era. And I had a buddy of mine who was a photographer with Playboy. He wasn't a photographer yet. He was working in sales on the north side of Chicago. Yeah. And I actually did something that today the older people still talk about. This Negro quit a federal job, the post office. He quit that job to go to the north side of Chicago and sell clothing. Now, that was almost unheard of. I mean, a federal job was what we coveted back in those days. Mm-hmm. But I started selling clothes on the north side of Chicago in a boutique. Mm. And eventually I worked my way up to Michigan Avenue, which is like Rodeo Drive in the exclusive. I'm selling women's apparel, ladies' shoes, ladies' clothing. And a lot of my customers were models, a lot of models, and a lot of female ad agency executives. And they would suggest, and I'm in a suit and tie every day, I'm at my charming desk. I'm trying to sell you something. Yeah. And they suggested that I had the physique to be a model. And I thought, okay, cool. And my buddy Garrick was a photographer at Playboy. I thought, we'll get him to shoot some pictures. Mm-hmm. And in my biography, actually, it says I got into this business to get laid. Because I figured, it says that. Because I figured, I started modeling. Maybe I can get with some of these models, and maybe I can get with some of these female ad agencies. And I started making a living as a model in Chicago. And along that line, somebody asked me to do a play. Yeah. Because their lead actor had fallen out of a play, a 3-character, 3-hour play. Mm-hmm. It's called Slow Dance on the Killing Ground. I'll always remember it because it told me who I was as an actor. I went in with only a week to rehearse this role. And it had been truncated down to 2.5 hours, but this is only 3 characters. Yeah. 3 characters, a 2.5-hour play, and only had a week to do it. And I did it, and I got great reviews, and I had a ball doing it. And I remember the last line of the review said, we will surely see Stephen Williams in theater again. It was my first theatrical project that was, notable. Right. And from that, I just started working Chicago theater. Chicago has some of the most wonderful, it's in the country. Mm-hmm. In the country. It's one of the best theater towns in the country. Right. So I think the first time I was on the Goodman stage, I was on stage with Robert Guillaume.
Oh, man.
So I like to call my training, I like to call on-the-job training, because I never took lessons as an actor or anything. I just started working in Chicago. I was modeling and doing stage plays, winning roles and doing it and just learning from the people that was surrounding me. And then Hollywood came to Chicago, with Blues Brothers and Cooley and eventually that brought me to.
So when you were young, you ain't never really showed me. I ain't seen none of them pictures. You just one of these just young, good looking, one of them sweet chocolate brown looking motherfuckers. No. Because I would have thought it would have been the voice more than anything. But when you was younger.
Oh, no.
If you could model, what kind of stuff, what did you model?
I was persona non grata as a youngest. See, by this time, I didn't start modeling until I was 27. Yeah. That is old. to start modeling. Yeah, I was fully 27. I was out of high school. I, did my Army stint, So that's old to start modeling. Yeah. But I did a lot of catalog stuff. That's back when Sears, Montgomery Ward, Sears, Montgomery Ward, a lot of catalog stuff, some ramp stuff. But mostly magazines and ads. Right. Jewel, grocery ads, A&P, grocery ads, that kind of stuff. But as a youngster, when you talking about, I was persona non gratis. Like high school brothers, my color with nappy hair, not happening back in the 60s, baby. Not happening. I actually had one woman's parents tell her, you got to stop dating that nappy-headed nigga, that black nappy-headed nigga. No. It was a high yellow, wavy-haired, curly-haired, African-American that was popular back then. We were not popular at all. And it's come to that point now where, dark-skinned brothers with bald heads is what's happening. But back then, oh no, Old Black Steve. My nickname was Old Black Steve, as a matter of fact, in some circles. Yeah, man. Showed a lot of them, though. Yeah. Hey, there he is. That's one.
But you, man, like I said,
Jump Street Chaos. Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever seen a group? But look at those eyes of everybody. Everybody got dreamy eyes, ain't it? Yeah. Oh, that was a beautiful cast. Beautiful cast.
Oh, yeah. What was it like? That was it. Holly Robinson, Johnny Depp.
Oh, Holly, Johnny, Dustin.
Yeah.
Peter DeLuise. And who else? Me, Holly, Johnny, Dustin, Peter, yeah. And you the original cast, and they were all brand new. They were brand new. I don't think any of them really had any experience when they joined that cast. But Peter comes from the showbiz family.
Right.
But it was only Johnny's second or third project. I think he had done some small roles in some movies, and Holly. I remember, one of my first films that I did, was really funny, was with, oh my God, they got all kinds of pictures of me. Boy, I've gone through some changes, haven't I? Amen. But Holly played LeVar did a TV movie called Dummy. Yeah. Based on a true story that happened in Chicago. And LeVar Burton and I, we played brothers, and Holly played our little sister. Yeah. And she was like 12 years old. And I remember that. Her mom was managing her then, Dolores. So Holly and I we go back that far, We realized that later on in life, we go back that far. Dustin could barely speak English when he showed up. And Dustin was a real Vietnam survivor. I mean, during that 75 Tet Offensive. Anyway, the newsreels when they showed all the helicopters toppling and people trying to get out of there, Dustin and his family literally were one of some of those people. Right. We did a story on Jump Street relative to his story. Yeah. And I understand now that he's back in Vietnam doing major things because his folks were in show business back there. Right. And he's back there, and I think he's built himself a major movie studio and like that. Peter, incredible human being, I think. I will always say that Peter DeLuise was the most talented of that cast. Really? He's a wonderful writer. He's a wonderful director. Damn good actor, and that boy, he did something one season that I thought was beautiful. If you look at that boy's face, he lost weight one season. Peter's always been heavy, but he lost weight one season. He is chiseled. He was gorgeous. He was absolutely gorgeous. He was every bit as good looking as they say Johnny Depp is. Right. And I think, a zillion times more talented than a lot of folks.
Man. So you had the X-Files. You had, what? Oh, yeah, the X-Files. What was that show you did with Carl Wilson? That's about the closest thing that you played to Quentin. What was the show when you took over?
Oh, Carl, that was his show. That was Carl's show.
You arrested
Street Justice.
Yeah.
Street Justice.
Yeah, you took over the whole jail.
I took over the whole jail. Yeah, they arrested my brother, and me and my gang broke in and then took the whole thing hostage to get my brother out. And I got to fight Carl with us. I got to fight him, and it was so much fun. That kind of stuff was so much fun for me back then.
Oh, man,
I can imagine. Iconic to me. Yeah. He's still, he's a beautiful man. Beautiful man. Yeah. We had a ball. Yeah, now he was. That cat was very Quentin-like. Yeah. He just cold-hearted killer. Lot of fun. Yeah.
What was it like working with Bernie? That's one of my comedian friends.
Is one of the most, now see, about Bernie Mac, I won't say what was it like working with Stephen Williams. One of the most gracious human beings that I've ever worked with. Yeah. Very gracious man.
Another Chi-Town man.
Another Chi-Town man. You know what was really funny? that I didn't know of Bernie Mac or didn't know Bernie Mac in Chicago. I mean, we should have known each other because Bernie used to do that thing that Michael Collier did on the beach. Yeah. The comedian. Mm-hmm. Bernie used to work the L trains. From what I understand. He did. He'd get on the train and just do his comedy act on the train as it went back and forth. Right. Why I never ran into him, I could not. I can't phantom that because we had to be in Chicago during the same years. Yeah. And I did not own a car. I rode the train a lot. You know, but what a gracious human being. Yeah, and what a wonderful talent. Yeah, you know. Sorry we lost him so soon. Yeah, a wonderful talent. Yeah,
he's definitely inspirational.
You know, and historic. Historic in that him getting that show on the air, owning that show. You know, and making some insistences. Yeah, because they made him wait. I want to be. I'll do it, but I need to have it. This way, and you know that's a step up.
Yeah, because they definitely made him wait, and they did Red Fox. Like I said, when I.
All right, got you.
So man.
Yeah. I guess he did have to wait. You know. Yeah. I guess it can be said about a lot of folks. I think I'm waiting. I'm still waiting.
Still being comfortable while you waiting.
You know? It's okay, man. I was talking to somebody about that last night about my comfort level. I'm at a level now where, I don't have, a $10 zillion mansion, so forth and so on. But I work, and that's all I want to do. That's all I could ask for. That's the best I could ask for. Is that God gets me up every morning. My people get me out. My agents, managers. They get me out. They get me into a room, and I will nail a job. Yeah. I'm that good. I'm good enough that somebody, I think it was Ron Howard. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if I'm misquoting you, Ron. I'm sorry. Yeah. And if it wasn't you, but the quote was, "Be good enough, be too good for them to ignore." Right. Somebody was talking about having problems with the business, and I know just be too good for them to ignore.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And you will work. Yeah. You may not get to the pinnacle of stardom, but you will work. Yeah. Be that, and I'm that good. I will always work.
Yeah, man. Like I say, I've told many of my friends, I've been knowing Steve a while. I go by Steve's house, man. I mean, if I could just be comfortable with that, because I know it'd be a stack of mail there. You don't even feel like going to the bank. You call it a treasure hunt. Motherfucker go over and shit been sitting there 4 months and it's $50,000. It's like, I want to be that comfortable where it's just $50,000 in checks. I ain't even cash. I gotta go catch these motherfuckers before they expire.
Yeah, I get lazy sometimes. I do. I was chuckling at myself once about that.
The treasure hunt.
I was looking at it before I got to stamp them. I was looking at a stack because a lot of that stuff is it's $1.50 in those envelopes, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at them going, damn, I got to sign all of this stuff. And then I chuckle at myself. I went, Negro, there are people who would kill for your life. Exactly. You're complaining because you got to sign a bunch of checks. What is wrong with you? So it's...
oh, man.
It's fun.
Well, anyway, man, I want to thank you for coming down here. Hey, man. You actually carried this all by yourself. I knew you would. I just tried to ask a couple of questions. It was my first show. I'm nervous as a hook in church, but thank you came down and
you did what you had to do. Thank you for inviting me.
Always, man.
Good luck in the future.
Always.
Yeah, good luck in the future, man. Keep this running. Let's get some people in here.
Yeah.
Let's get some people in here.
Look at the short Miss Poetess, Miss Moore. She got gold records up there. She's did her thing,
some
too.
Fun celebrities and stuff and then turn this place out. Exactly. Because the next time I come, I will not be hungover, and I will take you up on that wine. I'll take you up on that wine offer, Red, I'm a Pinot Noir, man.
So we got to go. Thank y'all for tuning in to Toomer'S Time. And we got the best in here. We'll be talking about controversial subjects every week, but we will have stars coming in there like Mr. Williams. And thank y'all for tuning in to Mars Media in Toomer Town with your host, Al Toomer. Thank you very much.
Later.